I'm sure you know him when you watch Grey's Anatomy, and I'm sure you have recently seen him in the stunningly amazing movie, The Butler. But the one thing you may not know about Jesse was that Jesse was a teacher. And he taught in Philly, like the real deal part of Philadelphia. And he taught African history and he taught American history when he was going to college and after college. And I thank you for where you took your career to continually support the work that you began doing in Philadelphia. Welcome, and thanks for being with us.
Good morning, everyone. If you don't mind, I'd just like to share a couple personal things about myself and how I came to be here and develop a relationship with California Endowment. First of all, I came to have the opportunity to be alive and able to, thrive in any way, form, or fashion because of a few basic things that I think are often overlooked and kind of overused generic terms, which are what this is all about, really. What that is: support, encouragement, actual information that's meaningful, and a couple strings of dumb luck. And being able to learn from my mistakes instead of being crushed by them. So that's about access and opportunity and sustainable, consistent support, meaningful support. Again, terms that we use a lot, but California Endowment really demonstrates this all day, every day. Anyone can tell you that you matter. Anyone can write a check. But I have never met anyone like the folks, the actual human beings who get out of bed every single day and report to work at California Endowment and make our lives better. It's a big deal. They don't have to do it, and they don't have to do it as well as they do. As was mentioned, I did used to work as a public school teacher, and my wife and I recently moved out here from Brooklyn, and once I started acting, it left a hole in our lives in terms of, now I'm in entertainment, I used to be in service, used to live in a community that I knew, and I'm kind of lost in this place called LA, trying to figure out a way to be of purpose besides being on a TV show. So one of the first things we did was we decided to form a production company and took on the role of executive producers of a project that we're incredibly proud of called Question Bridge Black Males, which is a video-mediated dialogue project about black male identity. We explore it, we redefine it, we represent it, we reproject it into the world, hopefully, through art installations at fine art museums, putting as many black male faces as possible up in fine art museums, asking questions of each other, and demonstrating that black masculinity is not this monolithic group. They're not homogenous. There's no such thing as black guys do this and do that. We're incredibly diverse, as diverse within that demographic as we are outside of that demographic. So we do that through curriculum and documentaries, et cetera. And that is how we came to meet California Endowment. Bob and Charles and Anne-Marie and the rest of the amazing folks there. And they've been pushing us ever since and really demonstrating what it means to be the village, to actually show that not only is your success and not only is your success valuable, not only are we invested in what's happening with our young people, but it's essential. It's absolutely necessary. And one of the things I remember from both being a student in a really, really bad school district in Chicago and being a teacher and one that was growing in Philadelphia is that kids know if you're not going to stick around. We know we know if you're really, people come through all day, every day and want to, get a check and move on. And there's obviously a lot of incredible people doing incredible work, but what matters is are you really here? Or is it that thing called unconditional love, unconditional support? And we can smell it. And that matters. And that's something that I'm really proud of that's happening here. The one thing that, one of the last things I'll just add is that high school's tough. And being a young teenager is tough, being an adolescent is tough, there's incredible pressure. It's all about what's cool, what's happening now, and these fads, and it matters. That is the currency of the day, and it's easy to tell people not to care about that and focus on your books and stay in school. We talk a lot about truancy and staying in school, and a real question is why, right? School's job, our job here, is to make school valuable to people in this age group so they have a reason to show up, and that's what this is all about, is giving you a reason to actually show up and not just showing up out of a sense of obligation. Just going into some building because somebody told you to, because it's actually supposed to be a fruitful place where you can actually learn something and be excited to show up the next day and do your family proud. We don't go to school simply to learn, we go to school to learn how to learn. to actually acquire those tools, to fill your toolbox with as many tools that are actually going to be useful in the real world. And one of the things that I used to always get on my high school kids about, when they're acting crazy and we're 16, 17, 18 years old, is that, especially boys, because boys are driven almost entirely by girls. So it's really just like, who was, you know, everything is about being cool and being the class clown and all that. Who was cool when you were in 7th grade? Like, who was the man when you were in 5th grade? Who was the coolest kid that wasn't worried about his school or anything like when he was in 2nd grade? And the answer is you don't remember, because it doesn't matter. It's completely meaningless. All you can do is get ready to actually go out into the real world. And really, to be quite honest, it is your obligation. Generations after generation after generation have had a boot on their neck for you to be in a position to even be able to have somebody dedicate their time and their life to give you a better life. So have fun, but you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your community to try to build a better one.